'cause you never show. You say you will.
Hey everyone, we're cooking with Paxton today again. We're making bagels. So we really like this recipe. It's really easy and we were kind of pleasantly surprised at how well these bagels turned out. So you ready to help? So me and P will get the yogurt. So all you need is 1 cup yogurt, and Ari will get the flour ready.
So it's a 1.5 cups of flour to a cup of yogurt. Normally we would make this double, but I'm gonna make something else tomorrow, so we don't want to. I don't want to run out of flour. I think initially, whenever we found the recipe, I think it called for.
I know, it's fine.
Well, Paxton found himself a snack. Okay. P, are you eating all the prep? Okay.
Do you think that's good for a cup?
Yeah, it's good.
Here, do you want to lick the spoon?
Oh my.
Do you want to lick the spoon?
Whoop! And I splashed a little bit of flour out.
Is it yummy?
And then I'm gonna do 2 teaspoons. Yeah, it's 2 teaspoons, right?
Yeah.
Oh my. P, you're making a mess.
You're making a mess, honey.
So it's 2 teaspoons, so I only have half a teaspoon here for whatever reason. So I'm just gonna use 4 of these. And how much salt?
1.
Okay, and then 1 teaspoon of salt. Try not to stab yourself underneath the fingernail if you're using more salt.
Is that yummy, the yogurt?
Okay. And then we've got the pleasure of having a mixer, but I mean, you could hand mix this, or if you really need to, you could fold it in. If you really wanted to be specific about it, you really should mix all your dry stuff together first and then put your yogurt in. But I'm just gonna mix it up. We have an egg here, we're not forgetting it. That's just for egg wash after the fact. So we're gonna throw this on the mixer.
Paxton, are you helping? Are you helping cook? Daddy's mixing the dough and you're taste testing the yogurt. Yummy.
So this is literally after just like 30 seconds of mixing. It's really sticky. You don't want it that sticky. So this isn't gonna make very many bagels. This is only gonna make, I don't know, maybe 4 bagels. So I'm gonna add a little bit more flour in here, and then we'll show you what the final consistency should be. Okay, so finally, we're not real sticky. I can stick my hands on it. I did end up having to use quite a bit more flour, but we'll talk about that while we're rolling them out. So Natalie normally doesn't do this, but I prefer to do this. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring it over, and so obviously having a granite countertop right next to the sink is, thank you, it's very helpful. But I ended up using quite a bit more flour than planned, and that's really because I think we've got a little bit different yogurt than what we had initially. So I think I ended up using maybe about 2 cups of flour to the 1 cup of yogurt. So there's a bunch of different ways to do this. My favorite is kind of just to kind of cut pieces and then roll them out so that you can turn them into the actual bagel. So Nat, you want to hand me a butter knife? So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut pieces off of here that look about right, because I think I'm going to make about 5 bagels. So I'm just going to cut this into 5 bagels. It looks like I can't count. Maybe I'll get about 5.
And then Ari mentioned that we use just like a plain whole milk yogurt. So
well, I didn't, but
oh,
you fixed that.
Okay. well, I thought you mentioned.
I didn't yet, but yeah. So this was just a plain whole milk yogurt. I mentioned that I probably used something different before.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so it'll obviously depend on what type of yogurt you use and how watery it is to see how much flour you need to add. Obviously, if you want to make savory bagels, you want to use plain and nothing, with sugar. But Ari and I were talking today that, if you ever wanted to make like blueberry or strawberry bagels, you could either use plain yogurt and then cut up some strawberry, or throw in some blueberries to the mix, or you could just buy like a Greek yogurt that has some strawberries or blueberries, kind of depending on what you're looking for.
So I guess I didn't count so badly. I have a couple that maybe are a little lighter than a couple of the other ones here, but so basically just roll them out to where you're happy, and then we already have a pan pre-greased. Again, this is personal preference whether you use a pan with oiled, and then just put them right on. Actually, Nat, do we have a?
I just hold up.
Well, no, you'll see what I'm doing.
Oh.
So I'll just move this. I don't want to put flour on the bottom of the pan for the oven. Or you can use parchment paper. Again, kind of personal preference. And we've got an egg here. So the reason why we're going to use the egg, I'm going to use it for 2 reasons. One, we're going to egg wash. So you can have a fork and then the brush. So we are going to use it for egg wash, and I'm also going to use it to pinch the ends of the bagels together. So you can use water for that, but if you don't pinch the ends of the bagels together, they'll separate in the oven. Just as they bake, they're going to separate. So I would suggest not doing that. Obviously, you're going to egg wash the whole thing anyway, so you might as well just kind of dip it in there. Egg is gross when you do stuff like this, but so I'm just gonna stick it in there. I'm gonna kind of pinch the bagel together and just form it into a nice bagel, or a nice round bagel, I suppose.
And then I know Ari, would do this differently. But whenever I make them, I kind of do it very fast, and I don't like rolling things out on the countertop because I never feel like it's clean enough. So what I do is I leave the dough stickier than Ari does. But I ended up just kind of rolling it in my hands and forming little snakes, and then just doing it like that. I mean, mine don't look as pretty, but I feel like they taste the same. Ari will disagree. Hey, you still puffy?
I grew up in a bakery, so my family owned a wholesale bakery for a little over 100 years. So I think maybe this is just my way of like reconnecting with my past. I don't know. But funny thing is, we didn't really make bagels. It was like the worst thing. I don't know why we didn't really make bagels, but I'll have a couple of other things that I'll share that are more or less like family recipes that were just passed down. But okay, so we've got these all set up. I'm gonna rinse see, that one kind of came apart. You'll see honestly, probably half of these are gonna come apart even though they're egg washed together, but we'll try our best. So we're gonna egg wash them, and then we're gonna put some everything seasoning on them. Again, obviously that's personal preference. And you can be pretty liberal with the amount of egg wash.
And Ari and I always talk about every time we make these, he asks me if I want to add the seasoning into the dough. We've never tried it. I'm sure it'll taste good,
Yeah.
but for some reason I'm always against it, so we just always put it on top.
Yeah, I don't know why she's against it, because she puts everything seasoning on everything else. So you would think that she would want to put that in there.
Yeah. We'll have to
Everything
try
seasoning makes everything better. But you really want to make sure that whenever you put this, when you put the egg wash on, that you get everything around the outside of the bagel and on the inside as well. And I see Paxton's puffs made it into the... Yeah? Did you need a snacky too? Huh? Yeah? What's wrong, Mr. Sleepyhead?
We're almost done. And then you get yum-yums.
You good? Okay.
Did you eat all your puffs? Do you want more? You want more puppies? I can get you more.
Really the best way to do this is if you can dip them into an egg wash and then literally like batter them like a piece of chicken. Because you'll get better coverage, but... Okay, so we're just gonna preheat the oven to 375. We're gonna let these sit out for just a little bit because the yogurt's so cold, obviously. So we're gonna leave these guys sit out for about 20 minutes and then we're gonna pop them into an oven at 375. It should take somewhere between like 20 and about 25 minutes, just until they're about golden brown. About 25 minutes has passed and you can see they are almost perfectly golden brown. Some of them will come off from the pan pretty easily, but basically because when you egg wash, you sort of create like scrambled eggs around the outside. So sometimes you just need to take like a butter knife or a small spatula and pry them off. But we're gonna let these guys cool and we'll probably show you tomorrow. So I think, unfortunately, the camera is zoomed out a little bit, but. So we just cut one in half and we toasted it, and I guess if you're paying attention to what we're wearing, you can tell that we just filmed the buns are back there too, but we got hungry and we wanted to eat a bagel. So we just cut one of the bagels apart, and you can see when you cut it open, there's some little pockets of air. It just kind of depends on the day you make it, whether it'll be dense or light, and you'll learn kind of exactly how you want it based on kind of how much flour you want to put in. But this is pretty much perfect for us. We want to cut a little piece off so that Paxton can eat it, because this is toasted and it's already, obviously, it's pretty hot. So we need to cut a little piece off so that he can eat it, and then I'm just going to butter it up for us. But these things are pretty awesome. If you think about it, it's pretty expensive to go to the grocery store and buy organic bagels. And Natalie's, obviously, she's an organic fiend with him. As you can see, he's still eating the buns from earlier too. But you can flavor these any way you want, and as you play with it, you can kind of figure out exactly how you want to make them. It's really, really easy. So let us know what you think, and if you try it or if you have any other ideas, let us know. And thanks, and until next time. You say, Pete. You want to wave? Do you want to wave?
Do you say I like the bagels?
Nope. Okay. Okay.